Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Nickelodeon, and I'm back at you with another recap. And this time I'm doing a recap of Married at First Sight Season 5. Now, this is a show that I've been watching for at least about, I want to say, 3 seasons now. This season makes three. And it caught my eye. I'm married myself. And it caught my eye uh, to see how people will react to being married to a stranger. Now, real quick, I'm gonna tell you what the show is about. It's called Married at First Sight. You know, self-explanatory is in the title. People get married without seeing each other, without ever dating or talking. They just meet at the altar and they say, "I do." You know, it's kind of like that Match.com thing where they I think they fill out like a whole bunch of questionnaires and stuff like that to see who you're compatible with. And then they also have, I think they have three psychologists on the team. I know Dr. Pepper is one of them, which is my favorite. And then they have another black guy on there that's a psychiatrist, and another lady on there. But Dr. Pepper's been on there for longer than the other psychiatrists. I know, and yeah. They do okay job. However, you know, they do have two no psychiatrists on it. So I gotta do this review, y'all, and I gotta do this review fast before my kids run in here and ruin it. But but yeah, so I'm gonna do a recap. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be watching my recap if you wasn't a fan of MAFS season 5. Real quick, we got three couples. I'm looking at my notes, I'm sorry. Because they changed. We got Nate and Sheila, which is the black couple. You know, I like seeing my people on screen. We got Cody and Danielle. Okay. All right, so I'm going to say a little bit. Okay. And then the other one was Anthony and Ashley. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to say what I think about each one. So what I think about Nate and Sheila, I think that they have great chemistry. Nate obviously was attracted to her as soon as he seen her, and Sheila as well. Nate's mother immediately did not like the idea of him marrying a stranger, and it was hard for her to accept the process. And Nate's father is a character. He's wild, but also cool too. I can tell that he's probably kind of cool. He did kind of say some things that started off kind of disrespectful, but you know, I think it was all in a joking manner. So I'm just going to combine what I've seen so far, because this is the first review that I'm doing of this show. So I'm combining, and there's only been 3 episodes, I believe. And I think the third episode comes on tonight, but I'd already seen it. So they did an episode on the matchmaking process, where they showed like the thousands of people coming in and filling out the questionnaire and trying to find their match. That was all the first episode. Didn't watch that. I never do watch that on none of the seasons. Second episode was the actual wedding preparations, showing them on their bachelorette parties and bachelor parties. And one thing that stood out for me on that part was Nate was turning up. I mean, he had strippers' booties in his face. And I think the other guy, Anthony had stripper booties in his face. But they was turning up. You heard. They was turning up. And I was like, woo. Good thing this is the old bachelor party. But, it is the last night of them being single. So, get it out your system. And they sure was getting it out their system. The women's bachelorette parties was a little more calmed down. I didn't see any strippers or anything like that. They were just kind of like sitting around. I think they was having like dinner and drinks and things like that. It was more chill. Um, and then the third episode is, and I was talking about the bachelor parties and things like that. And then the other episode was the actual wedding. And okay, so we're gonna get into that. Like I said, Sheila and Nate was attracted to each other. Nate came out, and when he seen Sheila walk through the door with her father, he was happy. He was satisfied. He kept on repeatedly telling her how good she looked. Cody and Danielle. Cody immediately loved Danielle. Cody loves Danielle. I can tell in his eyes, and I can tell the good things that he says about Danielle. He really likes Danielle. He's way more taller than her. But I think a lot of women like men that's taller than them. What else can I say about Cody and Danielle? Cody's 36. I'm not sure how old Danielle is. Cody is a gym owner, and Danielle is a dietitian, which is just so, good. It's good. They go hand in hand. They're both in health and nutrition. Yeah. So that's good. See, I gotta make this fast, but I don't know if I'm gonna do any more reviews on this show. I might, if it get interesting, I might. Who else we got? Okay, so that's all I know about Cody and Danielle. Anthony and Ashley. During the wedding ceremony, Anthony has perfect teeth and a nice smile, and that's one thing that Ashley did compliment Anthony on was his smile. When he seen his wife coming down the aisle with her father, he loved it. Ashley's like this cute little. She kind of reminds me of like a little California girl, a little blonde haired Barbie type of girl, She seems very charismatic and outgoing, and it seems like she likes traveling. She seemed like she was in such good spirits when they were on their way to the honeymoon, and she just seemed like she's gonna be fun. She did mention something during the vows, I think it was, that she said she doesn't like people to be late. Ashley's always been on time all her life. I think that was one of the things her sister pointed out. And she doesn't want anybody else in her life to be late. So, I don't know if that's going to be a problem or not. Anthony kind of made this face like, I'll try, So, I don't know. I don't think that when it comes to marriage, you got to be a little more frugal or a little more flexible. So, she might have to check some things about her that, bothers her. You know what I mean? Everybody does. When you end up marrying somebody, you find out more about them. And you kind of pick your battles. It's always something about somebody that you don't like, but you have to decide on what is going to be an issue and what is not. Because you can't make every single thing an issue, because that's going to send them running. Anthony is into marketing, and he is 26 years old. Ashley is 30, and she is a bar manager, so she manages a bar. So Ashley is a few years older than Anthony. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue or not. Me, it wouldn't be, because men It's not, and it's not. I can't say all men, but it's not really about the age. It's about the maturity. And I've met men that it has been 5 or 6 years younger than me, and they are mature. It's about the life that they lead, how they were raised. People that's younger can be a lot more mature. What else can I say about the wedding ceremonies? All of their vows were beautiful. All of the couples did kiss when it was time to kiss the bride, all the couples did kiss the bride. And they all, their families got along except for Nate and Sheila, the black couple. Nate and Sheila, their families was kind of like, well, that's my baby. Well, that's my son. It was very, very silly. And I hope that they grow out of that, because Nate and Sheila really do like each other. And the way that they like each other, I can tell that they're not going to allow their family shenanigans to get in the way of that. They did the traditional, how you pick your bride up and you carry her over the threshold, so to speak, when you go into the hotel room. So they all kind of did that little traditional thing. And I wanted to bring that up because last season I think there was at least one couple who didn't do that. But they all agreed to do that. They all are cooperating. They all are good sports. They all are aware of what they signed up for. This is totally different than what we went through last year when we had the girl that didn't even ever move in with her husband. And then the other girl who wasn't really attracted to her husband and stuff like that. It was the husband who was not attracted to his wife, I believe. Or he said something like he just didn't like her or something. But y'all who watched last season know who I'm talking about. So, what else about the wedding? That's it. They made jokes about sleeping together. All of the couples did. I think one of the jokes Sheila and Nate said was, she was like, I can't wait to sleep with you. And then she was like, like sleep with you, or something like that. So they was all being silly. None of them slept together yet. And, that's understandable. So that's all I have to say about the wedding day. So let's get into they were getting ready to go on their honeymoon. They all spent the night together, and then they woke up the next morning opening up their wedding gifts, and they got a gift from Married at First Sight cast, sending them all on a honeymoon. Sheila and Nate is going to the island of St. Croix. Cody and Danielle are going to St. Thomas, and Anthony and Ashley are going to the Bahamas. Okay, I want to hang out with Anthony and Ashley. Okay, but they look like they was ready to party. But they all had a good night spending the night together. They did their little documentaries and things like that, documenting on camcorder with each other, explaining how their first night was and how does it feel being married. And I swear, the longer I watch this show, that's the question that you're going to hear the most, the question that the couples ask each other the most. How's it feel being married? After that's going to get old. That's going to get old. But I understand they are strangers and crazy questions is going to come up. But, how's it feel being, I think that those questions don't need to be asked. Me, I like to just go with the flow. If I'm feeling you and you feeling me and we having a good time, we don't need to bring up the obvious that we just got married to a stranger. Let's just get to know who this person is so they can no longer be a stranger. I like what Nate said. He said it the best. And he said, now it's time to drop the stranger part, and that's the best thing. That's what they all need to be focusing on, is dropping the stranger part. Um, so they're all off to their honeymoons. So that's going to be the next episode. Before they go on their honeymoon, I believe they had a breakfast brunch with the family. Nate's mother was a mess. I mean, she was a mess at the brunch. She was crying so hard. Nate had to pull her aside from the table, from everybody. And he said, look, Mom, this is my day. I need you to calm down, And she's like, but you're my baby. And I'm just not understanding, But I think that they did sit down, and Nate did step up as a mature man, and he told Mom what his intentions was with his wife, and he said, look, this is my queen now, and you should just be proud of how I treat her, because I learned it from you. And that's better put than, that's the best way you can put it. You know what I mean? I think Nate is trying to do his best, and I hope that his mom will calm down and allow him to be a husband. Everybody else also had a breakfast brunch. Something that stuck out was Ashley and Anthony's breakfast brunch, where Ashley has this really tight bond with her sister, and her sister asked if Ashley and Anthony can move into her building so that she can be closer to her sister. She said that one of her fears was for him to take Ashley away, or she couldn't get to Ashley or something like that, which is silly and ridiculous. When I seen her, I immediately knew she was the younger sister, because that sounded like something a younger sibling would want or request, is for you to be moving in with them or moving by them so they can see you all the time or something like that. So Anthony was kind of a little bit turned off by how the sister was acting, and he was like, we only been married for a day, so pipe down. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get your sister back. But that's really the only thing. Sorry, my grill's all up in the camera, but I'm just trying to read my notes. I didn't mention so Anthony gave Ashley this crappy wedding gift. They all gave each other wedding gifts. Sheila got a crown, a beautiful tiara, that was stacked up beautiful from Nate. That was his wedding gift to her. I forget what Sheila got Nate, but I know she included a beautiful letter to Nate. Can't remember what Danielle and Cody got each other. However, I do remember what Anthony got Ashley, and he got her 5 almonds. Almonds, nuts that you eat. And said one is for luck, one is for a future together or something. I can't remember exactly what each almond represented, but it was very cheap, and it was very, I guess it was thoughtful because of the note that was attached, but it was, I don't know. I just thought it was cheap. And she got him something really nice. I think it was the bourbon and the cigars, I think it was. So when he got her gift, he was like, oh man, like, I gotta make up for this. But he did make up for it. So after they went back to their hotel room after being married, he gave her the gift, and it was a beautiful necklace with the letter A on it and a flashlight. And the reason behind it was that he had a dream before he even met Ashley that it was a flashlight rolling around, and then it turned on the letter A. And then he found out her name was Ashley. So then he was like, oh, this is destined to be. You know what I mean? And it could very well be. But he explained that to Ashley. She loved it. She rocked the necklace and the flashlight. And then he said something sweet about the flashlight. He said, "Here's a flashlight so you can always find your way back to me." And I thought that was beautiful. I thought that was beautiful. So Anthony definitely got kudos for that, and he definitely made up for that. And that's about it. That's all I want to talk about for those few episodes. I probably will be watching the next episode just to be nosy and see how their honeymoon goes and things like that. That's it. I like this season. I like Sheila. I like Nate. He's a young guy. Nate's a young guy. Sheila's cool. And Cody and Diane. I like Cody. You know, he comes with a lot of energy, and he seems like he can be very funny and things like that. I like people who can loosen up and be funny. And Danielle seems like she can loosen up and be fun too. That's his wife. Yeah, I like Danielle. Danielle is very down to earth, very cool. A lot of the signs that I'm getting from Danielle was that she was nervous. Cody was really liking her. He was kissing her a lot. He was all on top of her, you know, trying to get him some. And I'm like, Cody, you know, you need to take a cold shower because she is not ready for it right now. But Danielle was doing all of the normal signs. She was like restless, you know, nervous, things like that. And that was all normal. And that's it. Oh, Anthony Ashley. Anthony comes off a little bit. What can I say about Anthony? Anthony comes off a little bit stuck up. I hate to say it. But he comes off a little bit like, I don't know, maybe he's spoiled. Maybe he's that guy that always dated really, really good looking chicks or something. I don't know. But his attitude is a little bit like, yeah, they gave me a hot girl, but my last girlfriend was hotter. Or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just my imagination. I don't know. But Ashley is a very pretty girl. And however, she's like one of those pretty girls who is not always talking about how pretty she is or not always in the mirror and stuff like that. And that's what I like about Ashley. Like, she's down to earth, pretty but down to earth. And that's it. I don't see any problems with Ashley. She seems like she's very flexible, very open person. And except for that thing about being on time, that was kind of like, why'd you say that? I don't know. She might change her mind later about that one. But that's it. Married at First Sight season 5. Let's go.